Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari.
Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari.
Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari.
Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari.
Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari.
Yashodanandana Praja Janaranjana.
Yashodanandana Vrajana Ranjana.
Yashodanandana Praja Janaranjana.
Yashodanandana Vrajana Ranjana.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamunatira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamunatira Vanachari.
Jai Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe.
Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radha.
Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai.
Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai.
Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
Jai Shri Shri Radha Madhava Ashtasakya Vandike. Shri Shri Jagannath Baladeva Subhadra Maharani ki Jai. Shri Shri Gaunitai ki Jai. Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Samaveta Bhaktivinoda ki Jai. Okay, Hare Krishna, all the devotees, thank you for joining. I'll share my screen. So I believe today we are reading from text number 20. Kweku, happy to see you. Yes, so we're doing from verse number 20.
Happy to see you, brother.
You're so punctual and determined. I wish I have your motivation.
Sorry, say that again. I keep going on mute because I realize I have some background that disturbs.
I said you're very disciplined and determined. I wish I have your mood.
I feel like I came to the path late in life and I want to do as much as I can in this lifetime for the rest that I got.
Best wishes and thank you for inspiring us here. Okay, we are reading from chapter number 8, Attaining the Supreme, text number 20. So those who can, please kindly repeat after me. Parastasmatu bhavonyo
Parastasmatsu bhavonyo
Vyakto vyaktat sanatanaha
Vyakto vyaktat sanatanaha
Yassa sarveshu bhuteshu
Yassa sarveshu bhuteshu
nashyatsu na vinashyati
nashyatsu na vinashyati
parastasmattu bhavonyo
parastasmattu bhavonyo
vyakto vyaktat sanatanaha.
vyakto vyaktat sanatanaha
Yassa sarveshu bhuteshu
yassa sarveshu bhuteshu
nashyatsu na vinashyati
nashyatsu na vinashyati
parastasmattu bhavonyo
parastasmattu bhavonyo
vyakto vyaktat sanatanaha.
vyakto vyaktat sanatanaha
Yassa sarveshu bhuteshu
yassa sarveshu bhuteshu
nashyatsu na vinashyati.
nashyatsu na vinashyati
Anyone like to chant?
parastasmattu bhavonyo
Parastasmattu bhavonyo
vyakto vyaktat sanatanaha
vyakto vyaktat sanatanaha.
yassa sarveshu bhuteshu
Yassa sarveshu bhuteshu
nashyatsu nashyatsu na vinashyati
nashyatsu na vinashyati. Anyone else?
Parastashmatu bhavonya.
Parastasmattu
parastasmattu
bhavonyo
bhavonyo
Vyakto vyaktat sanatana.
vyakto
vyakto
vyaktat
vyaktat
sanatanaha.
sanatanaha
Yasa Yasa sarveshu.
Yassa sarveshu
sarveshu
bhuteshu
bhuteshu
Nasyatsu na vinasyati.
nashyatsu na
nashyatsu na
vinashyati
vinashyati. Anyone else? Okay, let's read word for word. Paraha,
paraha
transcendental.
transcendental
Tasmat,
tasma
to that.
to that
Tu,
to
but.
but
Bhavaha,
bhavaha
nature.
nature
Anyaha,
anyaha
another.
another
Avyaktaha,
avyaktaha
unmanifest.
unmanifest
Avyaktat,
avyaktat
to the unmanifest.
to the unmanifest
Sanatanaha,
sanatanaha
eternal.
eternal
Yaha,
yaha
Yaha Saha,
yaha saha
that which.
that which
Sarveshu,
sarveshu
all.
all
Bhuteshu,
bhuteshu
manifestation.
manifestation
Nashyatsu,
nashyatsu
being annihilated.
being annihilated
Na,
na
never.
never
Vinashyati,
vinashyati
is annihilated.
is annihilated.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Yet there is another unmanifest nature which is eternal and is transcendental to this manifested and unmanifested matter. It is supreme and is never annihilated. When all in this world is annihilated, that part remains as it is. Purport. Krishna's superior spiritual energy is transcendental. Excuse me. Krishna's superior spiritual energy is transcendental and eternal. It is beyond all the changes of material nature, which is manifest and annihilated during the days and nights of Brahma. Krishna's superior energy is completely opposite in quality to material nature. Superior and inferior nature are explained in the 7th chapter. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Venatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanyam Ishwaram Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I seek the blessings of all the Vaishnavas so I can speak those words that are pleasing to the Lord and all of you. So we are continuing this chapter number 8, and this discussion has come up because Krishna has made a statement in this particular chapter in verse number 16. Brahma bhuvanaloka punaravartinojuna mamupetyatu kaunteya punarjanma navidyate. All these planets are Brahma bhuvanaloka. Brahma bhuvanat. When you put this prefix, it gives the meaning up to that extent. It is pervaded up to that point. So up to the point of Brahmaloka, if we go, we have to come back. But if you go to Krishna, then there is no need to come back. So then obviously there has to be a discussion about, how are the planets up to the point of Brahmaloka and how is Krishna Loka. So that contrast is being made through these various verses. So the discussion about the material world was already made in the previous verses following verse number 16. How were the material worlds described in the previous verses? Those who were here in the last class, does anyone remember?
Dukkalayama Shashvatam. Right?
Okay, let's look. No, Sahasra Yuga Paryantam. I think Dukkalayama Shashvatam was probably verse number 15, I believe.
Yeah, it was a couple of verses ago, yeah.
Yeah, Mamupetya Punarjanma Dukkalayama Shashvatam Napnuvanti Mahatmana Samsiddhi Paramangatah. Yes, but you're in the same chapter, in the vicinity. So 17th and 18th have described how this material world goes in different cycles. The cyclical process was described. So Sahasra Yuga Paryantam Aharyam. So Brahma's day and night were discussed, right? What is the duration of Brahma's day and what is the duration of his night? Does anyone remember how big is Brahma's night? Is it 1 month, 2 months, 3 months?
1,000 ages.
Yeah, 1,000 ages, which is 1,000 Divya Yugas. There are 4 yugas, and collectively together they are called Divya Yuga. And like that, there are 1,000 of them. So which will be 4.3 billion years. Our 4.3 million years is the 4 yugas. This particular yuga that we are in is called Kali Yuga. It is 432,000 years. Okay, 432,000 years. So the 4 yugas combined will be 10 times of this yuga. So basically our yuga, if you consider it as X, the Dwapar Yuga is 2 times, which is 2x. The Treta Yuga is 3 times, which is 3x. And the Satya Yuga is 4 times, which is 4x. So if you add x plus 2x plus 3x plus 4x, that will be 10x.
Right.
So it is 10 times this age. Okay, 10 times of Kali Yuga is the 4 yugas. So 432 multiplied by 10 is 432,000 years multiplied by 10 will be 4.3 million years. Okay. Now 4.3 million years is one Divya Yuga. And 1,000 of those will be obviously 4.3 million. And you put 1,000, it will be 4.3 billion. Okay. Because when you put 1,000, then it goes from million to billion. So it is 4.3 billion years is Brahma's day, and the same amount of period is his night time. Okay. So imagine just Brahma's one day is 4.3 billion years. What all things he can do in that lifetime, in that one day.
So his 24-hour cycle to us is 8.6 billion years.
That's right. 8.6 billion years is his 24 hours. So, but what's happening during his daytime, there is manifestation. And in that daytime itself, we take many lifetimes, many births we take. Okay, if a human being lives for 100 years, and some trees may live for a couple of 100 years, and other living entities, they live for a very smaller duration. And in a different age, human beings also live for a longer duration. In this age, the duration of life is 100 years for humans. In Dwapar Yuga, it is 1,000 years. In the Treta Yuga, it is 10,000 years. And in the Satya Yuga, it is 100,000 years. How long can we live? So still, in 4.3 billion years, we take many lifetimes. So, but at the end of Brahma's night, everything becomes unmanifest again. Okay. And then Brahma, along with other living entities, they merge into Garbhodakashaya Vishnu. Okay. Who is present within the universe. And when the daytime comes, they all come back again. However, Brahma will come back in his same body. But we other living entities, we don't have any other bodies. Our karma will start and we take another birth. Brahma will not take another birth. He just comes out as he is. But we take another birth into different bodies and again start our many lifetimes. Now, if we cannot make it in this lifetime, then we have to make it in another lifetime. But then if we happen to be in the last cycle, in the last Kali Yuga, then we will not have another opportunity until another 4.3 billion years.
Because he's going to bed, right?
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
And we don't have a playground. So we also go to bed for that long. Okay. So we don't have a playground and we're stuck So we better get out. Mhm. Now it is Brahma's afternoon. So don't worry, you have many more Kali Yugas. You have 500 more Kali Yugas and other Yugas to try out. But we don't want to do that. It is suffering. Okay.
Right.
Probably that sleeping is better than this suffering.
Exactly. Even in life, sleeping is more peaceful than real life daytime.
So now there's a word manifest and unmanifest. Okay. Vyakta and avyakta. Now in this particular verse, avyakto avyaktat sanatanaha. When you see a tick mark here, the actual word, when you split it, it will be avyakta. But when you are reciting, you just say it as vyakto vyaktat. But when you come here for word, you'll see avyaktat avyaktaha. So when you undo what is called sandhi, you join the words in Sanskrit and then you split the different words, not the letters, but the words. So Krishna is saying here, in the material creation also, there is manifestation and unmanifestation. So when Brahma's daytime, it is manifested, and Brahma's nighttime, it is unmanifested. Of course, even during Brahma's, after the lifetime of Brahma, also, all the living entities will go and merge into the body of Mahavishnu until another entire creation takes place. And that will be until next Brahma takes birth. That is also a kind of unmanifest, and it is called Nirodha in Sanskrit, according to Srimad Bhagavatam. There are 10 subject matters in Srimad Bhagavatam, and one of them is called Nirodha, which is the merging of the living entities into the body of Mahavishnu, which is a temporary state, which is much longer than merging into Garbhodakashaya Vishnu during Brahma's days and nights, during Brahma's night time. So there is another unmanifest. It is also called unmanifest. So the word vyakta is used for the material creation. The word avyakta is used when it is the time of night time of Brahma, when there is partial annihilation. And there is another avyakta, which is the spiritual existence. So there are, avyakta can mean two things. Vyakta is only material. So I hope that is clear. I can, I have tools to write something. Options, reactions, meeting controls, new share. Is there a, oh, there's no whiteboard in this feature. Advanced. Okay, that's okay. So there is Vyakta and Avyakta. I can do that in my page. But you cannot see it unless I share. Okay. Text. From Avyakta, from the spiritual world. Now there is also another Avyakta, which is the material Avyakta. And from this Avyakta, there is Vyakta, which is manifestation. But these go in cycles here. Comes here. No. Goes, no, it's too big. Why don't I have a free hand tool? Just use this, that, then it goes back. So this is the cycle that Krishna was talking about, the Vyakta and Avyakta. But this is happening in the material world. Okay, so this is the material world. But there is another one which is the spiritual world, and this is also called Avyakta. Okay, this guy is material here. So in this, there's continuous going back and forth. And this is why Krishna is saying, Ah Brahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravartino Arjuna. Even if you go to Brahma Loka, even within the life, within the Brahma's daytime, you come back. Or if you are in Brahma's nighttime, you come back and explain the entire Avyakta and Vyakta state. But he's saying superior to this Avyakta here, there is another Avyakta, which is the superior to this Avyakta, bigger one here. Superior to this Avyakta is this Avyakta here, which is the spiritual unmanifest. Okay. So why is spiritual world called unmanifest? Because it exists forever. It doesn't go through these different cycles. And that is Sat. Sat means existential. Spiritual world is ever existing. It is eternal. And it is Chit, full of consciousness, and Ananda, full of bliss. Sat, Chit, Ananda. That is the nature in the spiritual world. So the existential potency is always there, but it is not materially made. Something that is materially made will be destroyed. So therefore, because this is material creation, it's always Vyakta and Avyakta. The spiritual world is also called Avyakta because it is not manifest to our material eyes at this point of time. Something that is manifest I can see. So now this cell phone is manifest in front of me. It is manifest to me because my material senses can see this. So unmanifest is something you cannot see. In software engineering also, you have a manifest file that describes how the software should be built. You call it as a software manifest. So similarly, this material world has a manifest to how the creation will happen, but this is all existing in the material realm. But the spiritual world is also called unmanifest. It is also called Avyakta. Okay. So that spiritual world is transcendental. That's why it is called Avyaktaha, Avyaktat Avyaktaha, Paraha Avyaktaha, means superior Avyakta state. Okay. So some people think even, okay, may think merging into Mahavishnu is also some sort of liberation. But they have to come back again during the time of creation. But that's not true liberation. But liberation could also mean you are merging into Brahma Jyoti, or the effulgence that is coming from the body of Krishna. So then what's the difference? You are merging during the Brahma's night and you're also merging late time. So that sleep is no better than merging into the Brahma Jyoti, because in both the situations, you're not exchanging any loving devotion with anyone else. So that superior Avyakta, when this world is destroyed, that part will remain as is, and that's what Krishna is describing. Krishna's superior energy is completely opposite to the material nature. Krishna also has two natures that were described in chapter number 7. Does anyone remember what that is? Inferior and superior nature of Krishna from chapter 7. The living entities and the material elements. Bhumira aponalo vayu kham mano buddhirevacha ahamkara itiyam me bhinna prakritirashtada. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. mind, intelligence, and false ego, these 8 constitute my separated energies. Apareyamitastvanyam prakritim vidhi me param jiva bhuta mahabaho yedam dharyate jagat. Apareyam itastvanyam prakritim vidhi me param. Superior than this inferior energy are the living entities. Krishna says they are the living entities, and these living entities are exploiting the material energy. The superior living entities are trying to exploit the inferior material energies for what purpose? For their pleasure. We are trying to get pleasure from this material energy. That's our business here. Why are we in this material world? Because we want to enjoy. We want to enjoy this matter. But how long can we enjoy this matter? And this matter is so attractive to the senses. It's not just made of material elements, but it is so bewildering. No matter what you take, it's just made of matter in this world. But we are so much attracted to it. It is nothing but the manipulation of some elements, including the body. The attraction of male and female is actually attraction to earth, water, fire, air, and ether. That's what it is. Isn't it so amazing how we fall victim to this material world? Something that is so temporary and perishable. And big wars will be waged for that purpose. So much bewilderment and destruction. The living entity is bewildered. And the living entity is struggling to improve in the living entity's capacity to enjoy in a better way. We may be eating something simple, and in order to aspire to eat better, we may struggle. In one restaurant, there's another restaurant, both are serving the same thing. But the cost is different. Why? Why is it less price in one restaurant and more in the other?
Quality is better.
Maybe, maybe. Quality of a chapati, same wheat flour. Or the ambience they create and the hype up, the building, how it's constructed and all those. But when you're really hungry, all those things may not matter, really.
That's true.
Right?
Yes.
So we try to create better and better sense enjoyment, and for that we have to work very hard to go to a better restaurant. And a better looking house or whatever it may be. Everything will be annihilated at some point. We're trying to exploit this energy. And we try to improve our position in this material world and work very hard for it. And we have to lose it one day. We have to see it being destroyed in front of our own eyes. Everything that we create in front of our very eyes, we have to see, including our own reputation, our own influence. So we may be very powerful, but we cannot be powerful all along. And we have to see our power being destroyed. We have to see our influence being, nobody's caring for us. And when we get old, our influence will go down. Or when we have an occupation at work, a big employee, and say that company shuts down or whatever, and nobody is reporting to you anymore, and you don't get as much respect, it's gone. Even if you go all the way into Brahmaloka, it is gone. So the nature of this material world is like that. But the spiritual world, it remains as is. Material world, we have to lose everything, including our body, we have to give up. What to speak of what this body was possessing. Right? When we give up this body, nobody will recognize us. Even if If we come back in another body, no one will recognize us. All the degrees and titles and everything, you cannot say, oh, I took birth in another body, please give me all these titles, give me my degrees, give me my wealth. People will beat us with shoes. And there was an example Srila Prabhupada gives. There was one very rich man, and he worked so hard to build a big house and buy so many things for his family. And he died. And because of his bad karma, because of the bad things he has done, he takes birth in the house of a cobbler on the same street. In the corner, the cobbler had a small place where he would fix shoes and things like that. And he took birth in that family. And when he was like a few years old, he remembered, oh, that was my house. I am the owner of the house. And then he went to that house, and his wife was still living. His sons were there. Then he said, I am actually so and so. He told the wife, I am your husband. And he told the kids, I'm your father. I made all this wealth. I earned all this money. And they were like, this guy is, his father was living down there. He knew all the history and he's making up something. And he wants to steal all our money. And if the cobbler who fixes the shoes, and they took the shoes and they started beating him in the shoes, get out of my house. Who are you? You're trying to steal all our stuff. That's the nature of the material world. Everything has to be destroyed. But when we go to Krishna, there's no more coming back, like in the material world. Avyaktokshara ityuktas tamahu paramam gatim yam prapyana nivartante tadhama paramam mama. Avyaktaha, see, the spiritual world is again here being described as avyakta, unmanifest. Akshara, infallible. Iti uktaha, that's how it is said. And that is the paramagati, the supreme destination. Yam prapyana nivartante. Having gone there, one will not come back again. Tadhama paramam mama, that is my supreme abode. Krishna is saying he is living in that place. Of course, he's also in front of Arjuna. He has described that many times. He is pervaded everywhere. That will come in the next verse as well. Yam pratyana nivartante tadhama paramam mama. That which the Vedantis describe as unmanifest and infallible, that which is known as the supreme destination, that place which having attained it one never returns, that is my supreme abode. Can someone help me read this? Any volunteers to read this purport?
I can read, Prabhu. Where does it start?
Thank you, Mataji. The supreme abode of the personality of Godhead. On the screen. Can you see the screen?
Yeah. The supreme abode of the personality of Godhead Krishna is described in the Brahma Samhita as Chintamani Dhama, a place where all desires are fulfilled. The supreme abode of Lord Krishna, known as Goloka Vrindavan, is full of palaces made of touchstone. There are also trees called desire trees that supply any type of eatable upon demand. And there are cows known as Surabhi cows, which supply a limitless supply of milk. In this abode, the Lord is served by hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune, Lakshmis, and he is called Govinda, the primal Lord and the cause of all causes. The Lord is accustomed to blow his flute, Venum Panantam. His transcendental form is the most attractive in all the worlds. His eyes are like lotus petals, and the color of his body is like the color of clouds. He's so attractive that his beauty excels that of thousands of cupids. He wears saffron cloth, a garland around his neck, and a peacock feather in his hair. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna gives only a small hint of his personal abode, Goloka Vrindavan, which is the supermost planet in the spiritual kingdom. A vivid description is given in the Brahma Samhita. Vedic literatures, Katha Upanishads 1.3.11, state that there is nothing superior to the abode of the Supreme Godhead, and that abode is the ultimate destination, Purusham na param kinchit sakashta paramagati. When one attains to it, he never returns to the material world. Krishna's supreme abode and Krishna himself are non-different, being of the same quality. Of this earth, on this earth, Vrindavan, 90 miles southeast of India, is a replica of that supreme Goloka Vrindavan located in the spiritual sky. When Krishna, I can't see, spiritual sky.
Highlighted.
Yeah, supreme sky. When Krishna descended on this earth, he sported on that particular tract of land known as Vrindavan, comprising about 168 square miles in the district of Mathura, India.
So this description is so beautiful. Isn't it so consoling
It is, yeah.
to know that we get to go to a place? I'm excited about Surabhi cows. I don't know about all of you, but right. I mean, good milk is so amazing, right? That's in the spiritual world. It's so wonderful. I personally like milk as anything else. If I have milk, I'm happy. No wonder, right? No wonder why, Surabhi cows are a source of enticement. It's spiritual world description, and this particular description is so consoling because this material world is so miserable, so miserable. We make it look like, oh, it's so exciting, enjoying this material world. But if we have some intelligence, we can figure out why is everybody, what happened to my grandfather? Where did he go? What's happening to my parents? Why are they getting old? Right? We have to think like this. Some people may say, one time one guy said, oh, you guys have pessimistic attitude. It's not being pessimistic, it's being real, right? Everybody is dying. Why should I not ask? And this is the most surprising thing. One time, Yudhishthira Maharaj, when they were in exile, his brothers, they all drink water from a lake and they die. And Yudhishthira goes and he thinks something is happening and is very thirsty. The story goes they're very thirsty and they cannot resist. Anyway, so Yudhishthira he thinks there is somebody there, then there's a voice that comes. He said, I'll save all of your brothers, bring them back to life if you answer my questions. So one of the questions, so he asked various questions and Yudhishthira Maharaj answers all of them. One of the questions that was asked is, what is the most astonishing thing in this world? Most astonishing thing. It's something that's really astonishing. What is that? Any guesses?
Of course, we know. But everybody's dying, but we think we are not going to die.
Yeah. Ahanyahani bhutani gachanti yamalayam. Sheshahas tavaramichanti kimascharyamatah param. Ahanyahani bhutani gachanti yamalayam. Every day people are going to the abode of Yamaraja. And what is this Yamalayam? What is this abode of Yamaraja? This is the place where we'll be judged for our actions. Death is not everything. It's not we are not going to get away by dying. Sometimes we think nothing is working. I wish I could die. As if by dying we'll get away from all the problems. But I'm sorry. By dying, we will not get away with our problems. Dying is like going to police station. Dying is like getting arrested by the cops. Now, how many of us want to get arrested by the cops? We don't want to, particularly in third world countries. No, it's miserable. So Death is not going to solve our problems. We have to solve our problems before we die. What does it mean to solve our problems before we die? Is after death, we're going to be judged and punished. But those who understand the value of this life and work towards it and avoid sinful activities and engage in Krishna consciousness, then they can escape that Yamalayam. And they can go to this place that Krishna is talking about. But we don't question, we don't inquire. The duty of human life is to question. Atato Brahma Jignasa. Atha means now. Ataha, therefore. Brahma Jignasa, inquisitiveness for transcendence. That's all it says. Therefore now.
Can I make a comment, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji.
I was actually laughing when you were saying that, because in every department of life, we do risk management. You know what I'm saying?
except,
And I was so
except in the
amused
department
thinking
of
about
human
it,
life.
you know.
Except in the department of human
Except
life.
in our life, we don't do risk management.
Right?
Is there any department that doesn't do risk management?
and you know, we will be considered as a fool if we don't do.
Exactly.
You know,
even
if you
if you're planning a wedding, we have a backup plan. If you're planning some party, we have a backup plan, you know.
Yes.
Every place there is risk management, you know.
Yeah, and when Joe Biden, he pulled out troops from Afghanistan, how many people went? Didn't you plan for this before, this craziness?
Exactly, yeah, no risk management. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, your soldiers, you know, they are also dying. They don't know where to go. Why did you keep this airport instead of the bigger base you had? You gave up that bigger base and you chose this smaller airport. And you had all the security and everything over there, much better way. People were making fun. And when it is our time to get out of this world, just like escaping from Afghanistan, we don't have a plan.
We don't do risk management. Exactly.
This is life. So that's why Yudhishthira Maharaj is saying, Ahanyahani bhutani gachanti yamalayam. Sheshaha, everybody, the remaining people, stavaramichanti. They're desiring permanent residence in this place. Kimascharya matav param. What else? What bigger surprise is there than this? What bigger astonishment is there than this? How fools are we, the human beings? So we have to aspire. And there is this enticement here Krishna is giving. Yam prapyana nivartante. Once you go there, there's no need to come back. But what are we going to do over there? I mean, who doesn't want a fridge? A kalpavruksha tree, which is like a fridge. You open, it will give you whatever you want. No need of Instacart. No need of going to places. You just go to the tree and ask, it will give you whatever you want. Touchstones. All palaces are made of a touchstone. What is a touchstone? What does a touchstone do? It makes everything valuable. You take it and touch the bell metal, it makes it gold. Means gold is, you know, the valuable metal, extremely valuable metal. But you take some bell metal, something invaluable, and touch to the touchstone, then it becomes gold. So that stone is the most valuable stone, is the touchstone. The palaces are made of touchstone. Of course, there are many types of jewels and all these things described in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 9. If you want to read more about the spiritual world, Canto 2, Chapter 9 of Srimad Bhagavatam. Brahma will have a vision. And Surabhi cows, unlimited supply of milk. Not only that, there's the story of Vishwamitra and Vasishta. And Vasishta had a cow called Sabala. That cow would give anything, not just milk. So that Vishwamitra was feeding thousands and thousands of soldiers of, Vasishta was feeding, Kaushika was Vishwamitra's previous name. So lakhs and tens and thousands, millions of soldiers he was feeding with one cow. Amazing. Right? So this is the spiritual world. Chinta mani prakara sadma sukalpa vriksha laksha vriteshu surabhi rabipalayantam lakshmi sahasra shatasam brahmasevyamanam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. It is also described in Brahma Samhita. Krishna is served by thousands and thousands of goddesses of fortune. Lakshmi Sahasra Shata means 100,000, means 1 lakh, many, hundreds of thousands. They're all serving Krishna. And then what is Krishna doing? Venum Kwanantam Aravinda Dalayataksham Barhavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Lord Brahma is offering his respects to Govinda, who is Krishna, who is tending his cows. Venum Kwanantam, he is playing on his flute. Aravinda Dalayataksham, his eyes are like lotus petals. They are wide, they extend up to his ears, very beautiful eyes. And Krishna's eyes have this life-giving effect, mesmerizing effect. By his sidelong glances, he steals the hearts of the gopis. When the cowherd boys and the cows drank the poisonous water of Yamuna and they died, Krishna simply glanced at them. And this was in Vrindavan, which Krishna is describing in this purport as a replica of the spiritual world. So that replica of spiritual world was there. It is still there on this planet. It is how many miles? 80 miles, 90 miles southeast of New Delhi, the capital of India. And Krishna was there 5,000 years ago. And the water of Yamuna was poisoned by Kaliya, a snake who was envious of Garuda. So then when everybody died, Krishna glanced at them and brought everybody back to life. Sometimes people claim Jesus has performed miracles and he came back to life. And there's no other way. Of course, we accept, Christianity to a certain extent. And we accept Jesus as one of the teachers. But here Krishna's, you can see not only, one person coming back, but he brought many people back to life. I mean, you see this all the time, Krishna bringing people back to life. He brought the sons of his spiritual master who died. He brought the sons of the Brahmana. Even in his army, when Jarasandha was killing everybody, none of his soldiers would die. This Krishna's miracles are unlimited. If you want to talk about miracles, if you want to talk about knowledge, there's nothing that parallels Bhagavad Gita. No parallel to miracles, no parallel to the knowledge he has given, no parallel to his beauty. He had 16,100 wives and he was simultaneously present in each palace. It's so beautiful. That is why his beauty excels thousands of cupids. Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobha. His beauty, his glory, it excels thousands of Koti. Koti it doesn't mean 1,000. 10 lakhs is a million. Koti is 10 millions. And Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya, it's multiple crores, right? So it's millions and billions of cupids. Krishna's beauty excels them. Imagine we'll pass out if we see Krishna. He has that kind of beauty. To see, and the fragrance coming from his body, it's all mesmerizing. Who doesn't want to be with that person, Krishna? And he wears this beautiful garland. Everything about Krishna is beautiful. One Acharya wrote, Madhuram, Adaram, Madhuram, describing every feature of Krishna as how beautiful it is. Because the definition of beauty comes from Krishna. And it is said the ornaments that Krishna puts on, they become beautiful because they are adorning Krishna. Bhushana Bhushana Angam. Uddhava describes in Srimad Bhagavatam 3rd canto that Krishna's ornaments, they become beautiful because they are decorating Krishna. So usually people put on makeup, people put on ornaments, they put rings and jewelry and nice clothing and everything, so that we try to make this body of 5 elements, which is rotting every day. We want to make it look nice, so we try to put some things. People put perfume so that they don't stink. They put on nice clothing because the body doesn't look good. But for Krishna, it's the opposite. The clothes look beautiful when they are put on Krishna. The jewelry looks beautiful when they decorate Krishna. And this is the spiritual world. And even the living entities, we all have beautiful spiritual bodies. It is covered by this material body right now. And who doesn't want to go there? And that is the ultimate destination. And Krishna is clearly saying, Tadhama Paramam Mama. That is my supreme abode. And one thing he's saying is, once you go there, you don't come back. And on this very particular point, a lot of time people say, if we go there, we don't come back, then why did we come here from there? Okay. Anyone want to talk about that? Anyone has an answer? Or thoughts on that? Krishna is saying, once you come, you will not come back. Once you come back. If we are there, why did we come
question is,
back?
why did we come back in the first place? Why
Yeah.
did we come in the first place?
Yeah.
I don't know. I heard that we wanted to serve him ever so slightly different from his desire.
Then what
So-
is the guarantee we don't come back if we go to him?
Because we have burnt our fingers once bitten, twice shy.
Yes, but that may not be true in the material world, right? We repeatedly do the same things again and again.
Yes,
Even we
it's
know
not
it's
the
not good.
material world, but once we go to the spiritual world, we get that realization.
Yes, Krishna is giving us that assurance.
Yeah, yeah.
Krishna is giving the assurance that in the
Oh,
material
yes.
world, you make, New Year is coming, you make resolutions for New Year. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. And we put it aside until the next year.
Or we do it for a few months and then stop.
Yeah. So will it be like that? I go to spiritual world, I never come back. That's my resolution. But in this case, Krishna is giving assurance that having gone there, we will not come back. In the material world, when we go to the higher planets, we are forced to go back. We don't have a choice. Even if you want to stay, you cannot stay. Because by design, you have to come back. Okay, that's another thing. And the design of spiritual world, you are not forced. Unless you yourself want to go, you are not forced to go back. But in the material world, you are forced to go back. Right now, we don't want to die. But we must die. No choice. So similarly, even if you go to the highest planet, we must die. And we must take another birth. We must come back to lower planets. But if we go to spiritual world, no one is pushing us. No green card is expiring. No one is conquering the kingdom and making us refugees. It's a place where none of these things exist. But there is free will. And that free will also Krishna is assuring, once you get this bad taste, unlike this material world where you, even if you get bad taste, you keep on doing, you will not do. Krishna is giving that assurance. Now someone may say, does that mean I don't have a free will to come back? Yes, we have a free will to come back. That Krishna will not take away, right? We have that free will, but we know the miseries of this world. So therefore we don't want to. We get strong realization. So I'll stop here. Any questions or comments? If nothing, we'll end here and let's all aspire to go there. All of you, please give me a blessing that this will be my last life. And keep our motivation to go back. Thank you very much. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Antakoti Vaishnava ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Srinivasacarya Prabhu ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.